Hello everyone and welcome back to Factorio. I am SeiferKatt and we are finishing SeaBlock today. This is where I'm hoping we end up today. I want to be done with SeaBlock and we should be able to get it done. That's really what it comes down to. So to get this done, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off some of these. I'm going to get some titanium chests and I just want to stop rocket production for a little while. Because quite frankly, we don't need that many rockets anymore. I get some titanium chests just to make sure that we're doing okay in a couple of places, because we do still need a bit more rocket fuel. That's okay, we can do that. We can sort that out. Yeah. So rocket fuel, and we're going to put a chest here. Just to get things moving a little bit faster. Okay, so that should give me enough to launch 3 rockets or so. We want to limit these probably to about here. So that will all start backing up everything else and forcing the blue circuits to go and work on stuff that we actually do need. This... yeah, that's fine. So we have limited black circuits, we have limited heat shields, limit chrome, yep. And then that should stop a lot of the resources going to places that quite frankly we don't need them anymore. Because right now a lot of the chrome is going to tanks, just a lot of molten chrome. And yeah, so right now we're at 58%. Hopefully in the next couple of hours that'll be closer to 90%. All going well, in 3 hours, like the normal run, will be done. Hey Mighty Panda, welcome. Welcome, welcome. That is a dog. Awesome. Yeah, so we don't need chrome anymore. That is going to slow down nickel and cobalt and iron, so that's going to be a slight problem for other issues, but that's okay. So that'll stop all that production. Now that means aluminium does become a problem for a different reason, so... but don't worry, we've got a plan for that. Because we can also make titanium rather than with nickel. We can also make it with... nope. We can also make it with aluminium and tin. Now, thankfully we should... I was about to say we have a lot of tin, but turns out no we don't. Well, we'll get a lot of tin at some point. Let's not worry about it too much. Ooh, I'm a little bit worried about it. It should actually be all here. Well, it's not. So is there any other places we can grab tin from? Not really. Okay. The good news is if we want to grab tin, we can just grab it from this nickel line, like put it onto the nickel line. So that's probably the best way to do it. So what I'm going to do for now is just turn this into the titanium that uses nickel, just to get all that done. Actually, we're going to use that one. And very soon, I would imagine that to get everything sorted out. Yeah, so with the less production of a lot of things for black processing, RCUs, heat shielding, that should give us a lot more resources to be using for other things, and that should both push science higher and... what else matters after that? You got science higher. And we've got a copper line here, but I don't think copper is actually useful for anything. Copper ingots. What can we do with copper ingots? Brass, 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 solder, copper, aluminium, aluminium. We're wanting titanium. I got very excited there, but it's like, no, aluminium is not a problem. Well, at least it shouldn't be. I think it is still currently a little bit, and maybe that's something we should fix first. because aluminium has got a little bit of a slowdown that I'm not super happy about, and we can probably just improve that ever so slightly. But I don't know if we need too much more aluminium. Iron and steel might be a bit of a problem because we know we are needing a lot of cobalt steel today, but that should resolve itself once we have more trains coming through, making sure this is always filled. Because, yeah, less iron will be used, and steel, yeah, cobalt steel is a little low, and regular steel is just disappointing. So that's disappointing. And I want to cut that off and just put that in there. Just to balance it out a little bit more. Quite frankly, this aluminium is just going alright. It'll just keep on chugging away, and we'll get somewhere useful with it later. I'm not too worried about that one. So as more copper comes in, of course, it'll increase the efficiency, but aluminium shouldn't be the problem. Titanium, however, is going to be a problem just for a little bit, but that'll sort itself out shortly. In the meantime, or in the meme time, if you will, no one has to. We want to check stuff. Nice, did it. I want to see how black circuits are going. They should have slowed down a great deal. Heat shielding definitely has. So that'll mean all these will stop being produced. And that'll mean we probably don't need more tungsten powder coming this way. Which is also good because that means it can all go through to yellow science, which is the one that takes the longest, of course. For reasons. And yeah, this will start backing up very soon, but it's not what I was checking. What I was checking was... Ah, that's funny. This, and that's all pretty much... No, it's not backed up yet. Solder is slowing it down. That's okay. It's going to be backed up very soon, though. Now, one thing I would like to do, and this might be a little bit of a strange thing, is I actually do want to launch a rocket now. And we're going to do it using the... You know, I'm actually going to do this upgrade thing now. So we want to go from 3s to 1s, 3s to 1s. Except for reals. Good. Now the idea is we probably don't need these things sped up anymore. So we'll just take those for myself. And I think we don't need these sped up anymore either. No, they should be fine. Because sure, these are making fuel, but quite frankly, we're going to have not too much need of fuel very soon. But it is looking like it's pretty backed up, which is nice. So with these speed modules that I have acquired, I'm going to chuck them into here. Now how many of these do we need? We need 3 more, so that'll be the second one. Let's just speed this up a little bit. We are going to need a few more speed module 3s, but not too many. And then we'll have all the rockets we need. That's good. Okay. And if we get, say, another 20, we'll be done. So that shouldn't be too difficult. But I do actually need to select the right thing. Okay, now hopefully that has put us into a position where we have the speed modules to build the last piece of tech that isn't FTL. which is good. This is pretty exciting. But then we just need to get the FTL tech up, but that's relatively simple, and also we can dismantle that. We don't need that anymore. It's going to chuck it all into my inventory. Fantastic. I guess I deserved that. And I'm going to turn off my roboport real quick, and I'm just going to dismantle that. And the construction bots will deal with that in time when they bloody well feel like it, which I respect. Okay, so we should have... Oh no. Please tell me you didn't dismantle it yet. Phew. I was just in time there, just to grab the last... I was like, I never picked up the third one! Okay, so this should build the rocket pretty darn quickly. Well, that's going to launch one rocket. So we should have all the resources to build the rocket. So... yeah, it should be a very quick rocket. It should be the quickest rocket we've ever seen. Will, of course... Oh wow, really? Apparently requiring RCUs mean... Oh, it's because things are required up there. Okay, so that's kind of annoying, but that's alright. RCUs are required. Anyway, it's going to build the rocket super quick, and we're just going to watch the numbers build because, quite frankly, I like watching progress bars. Does that make me a broken individual? A little bit. Well, see, this is where you want to see progress bars. There are 3 progress bars. There's a fast one, a slightly slower one, and one that fills up when one of these ones fills up. That's the best thing. You know you want that. But yeah, okay, I didn't quite consider the fact that I would actually... Well, now I've run out of chrome anyway, so maybe it's fine. Probably keep an eye on that all the same though. And the rocket is done. We have plenty of fuel left over, we have plenty of heat shielding left over. Probably even reduce that. So it'll get its things together, that's fine. Probably going to put a speaker here though. What do we need for a speaker? Copper cables. Wow, really? Where the hell do I find copper? That's a legitimate question. It's not something I use very... Well, no, I rephrase it. I use a lot of copper, but not often. So I'm just going to put a cable here. So that way if we do run out of these, we can turn it back on, but we shouldn't do. But let's just be prepared for that strange world that we may find ourselves in. So if it is less than, say, 200, let's go less than 400. If it's less than 400, we want a global alarm. Nope. You know what? I always approve of the bombing alert alarm. It's always scary. You never feel comfortable with it, and that's how you know it's a good one. Okay, so unfortunately this meant that these produced for a little bit longer, which means everything else needed to back up again, but looks like it's achieved that dream relatively quickly. So we're okay. That means blue chips, they need to continue backing up this way, but that shouldn't take us too long. Titanium's looking good. That's looking subpar, which is not good. Obviously, I shouldn't have to tell anyone that. But everything's being produced, and maybe that's what's the real winner of the day. Oh, and we've got 2,000 yellow science going to the labs, which should push us to 60%. Should weird stutter there, but that's alright. And yeah, so we're getting closer and closer to turning off another science category. Don't know what we're going to be turning off next, but we'll certainly look into that when we get closer to it. Of course, when Yellow Science Train arrives, everything's very exciting, and they all split off in their 3 different ways to fill 3 different sections of labs. Which is nice. I like that. Meanwhile, titanium is really being a problem. Not great. Not great. So maybe we do need to work on that tin and... what was it? Tin and aluminium? Be turning into a lot more titanium? So is tin actually getting to a better place? Not really, no. No, it's not. Oh! It's mostly due to the lack of minerals, and as we start turning things off, that should be improving. Of course, we are still working through this nickel, which is actually a bit surprising. I would have thought we'd be done with that by now, but... I guess most of it is being picked up earlier. I will just speed it up a bit there as well, and occasionally it's going to do its thing. So it's not quite optimal, but I just want to get the nickel through, and then we can start sort of pushing the tin and aluminium in. We could possibly even start moving the aluminium in now. There's no reason not to. And we're going to do it... oh gosh, look at that. They're still using the slow inserters. Okay, we need faster inserters for this. Just in case it all goes wrong. We do need faster inserters. I need to turn on my roboport. Guys? Do we not want to work today? Let's be honest, my bots never really want to work. They're just very lazy robots. Oops, I probably shouldn't let that one go. You know what they say, if you love them, let them go. But I don't want to let them go. Because I don't love them, I guess is the reasoning I'm taking away with that. Oh, okay, now we're working, are we? We felt like doing something today, did we? Gosh, those bots, so lazy. Okay, good. Now that I know it's actually going to not absolutely crap everything out when I steal this, I'm going to steal this. I'm going to go up and around the gold. So it is going to unfortunately be a bit of a spaghetti system, but since when did I ever make a system that wasn't a little bit spaghetti? I got someone in my YouTube channel saying something in like a language I didn't understand, so I had to run it through a translator and it just said pasta. And I'm like, oh, it's like a spaghetti reference. But for the life of me, I was just like, why would someone just say pasta to me? It was a bit confusing for a moment there. I mean, you know, Google Translate, it does well, but it fails in interesting ways sometimes. Okay. Now if we move into here... that should put all the nickel through before we start getting any of the aluminium through. Now that's a good start, but the next thing I want to do is I want to also take the... Oh, goodness gracious. I had not anticipated as much aluminium here. That's fine. I may not have enough inserters for what I'm trying to do here, but that's alright. The whole point of this anyway was just to... What is this? What is this madness that I have wrought? Okay. The whole point was just to get things moving. And they are moving. It is a absolute spaghetti solution, but I would have it no other way. So that gets the aluminium in there. Now, tin is going to be a different problem for a different reason. But I feel like that's a fix that'll come in its own due time. Particularly when it gets rid of all that nickel. Tin does not seem to be growing. That's alright, it'll get there. I have faith. And if I don't have faith, I have things that speed up crystallizers. Which is a different type of faith. It is faith, but it's not quite what people typically refer to as faith. And that will get the nickel, sorry, the tin in. The problem we might run into is that tin and nickel probably looks exactly the same, more or less. But the nickel is going, and that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're also going to grab this tin line and do the same thing. This one does seem to be doing a little bit better though. Not quite sure why, but I'll accept it. We may need to go and grab some more inserters. And science is at 60% and rising, probably. If I say and rising, it makes me feel a lot better. I don't need to actually check, but I will check. Is it rising? Not currently. It's thinking about it. It's still working on it, probably. Somewhere else. I mean, we've got 2,600 yellow science sitting there, and they are all building. Things are backing up a little bit, which is good. Yeah, so if we get the tin in, then that would just give us plenty of aluminium. Nope. Titanium. I knew it was a metal of some kind. And they'll just come in on their own accord when they get around to it. Mostly the problem is the crystallizers at the end, and if I was to do this again, I wouldn't do that again. Because that seems to be a problem a lot of the time. I think by the time the tin actually starts moving over here, we're not going to need any more tin. Which is fine. Now we probably do actually have some tin available elsewhere that we could use. Which would be over here. But I wonder if that's going to run into the exact same problem. Maybe. I mean, actually, if we can speed up that tin, if it goes into molten tin, at the very least it means we don't need to make as much molten tin. So, yeah, let's speed that up. I mean, if we make more solder, we make more solder. If we make more tin, that's good too. So here was my tin making. They are doing the best they can with what they have. These should be going at all times. These are too slow, that's the problem. Oh, you know what? We can even upgrade these. Speed those up. They're already sped up if they can be. It's good to get the solder, but I think it'd be better to get more tin. It's a classic fable right there. And let's just speed these up as well. Choice. Okay, so that gets more tin through. That is good. I am pleased with this. And for some reason these are using really slow inserters. Not okay with that. Just speed up all of that junk, please. We don't have time for failure as slow machines. Regardless of whether we have time for it or not, I mean, we're still getting it, aren't we? I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just speed that everything up a bit. Just gets the ingots out a little bit faster. And we'll also do that and offset it. Okay, good. And that should be making molten tin a lot faster, hopefully. 149, 148. Maybe not fast enough. So what we will do is we'll split this. It's strange to be this far along and go, man, I really wish I had some more tin. It's a bit of a weird time to be running into that problem, but okay, here we are. And boop. Clearly I had speed module 3s. That's genuinely a confusing moment. That's alright. Getting more tin out is only good news. 161. Wow, really? Did we just go, like, create an extra 10,000 units of tin? Nice. That's what I like to see. And likewise, these probably need to be sped up as well. No, like that, please. Because if we can get through the tin faster, that means we can probably get... oh, I'll remember the right material one day. Titanium made faster, and that's where we need to be. We just need to be there. Science is at 62%. That's good. We do not have a lot of chrome. A little bit concerning. Everything should be all backed up all the way now. Possibly some of these being made. Nope. So we're making 0 chrome now, like none. Which is interesting. At some point these trains may start backing up, and that's kinda something I hope for. A little bit. Because at some point they will not need as much mineral sludge as they've got. And all the trains will be waiting at the station for the sludge to be used. And that means we're probably in a good place. I don't know if we're there yet. I feel like we're probably not. We're not. Okay, but we'll get there. Probably as we turn off a couple more sciences. Speaking of things being turned off, we should have all 4 thrusters. We do. Okay, so we do not need to launch. I'd like to have enough for 1 more rocket launch, if possible, just in case we've made a mistake with space science. I don't think we have, but just in case. Titanium is coming through, making blue chips. That is wonderful news. Those should all be done. We've got a rocket on the pad for the FTL launch. Unless, as I said, I've made a mistake. Which I don't think I have, and we can just turn that off now. We can, in fact, turn most of this off, in fact. I'll leave it on for now. Because, I mean, it's only consuming a few kilowatts of power, which is not a big deal. What is this connected to? Nothing. Okay. Don't know what was going on there, but no more of that happening. Not on my watch. Okay. Blue processing chips are coming down and probably should all be heading towards yellow science. Yeah, it is. More blue chips would probably be preferable. Don't quite know how to speed them up at this point in the game, but we'll see if we can figure something out. Meanwhile, the slowdown is... Is it cobalt? It is cobalt! Fascinatingly terrifying. Good news is all these should be backed up very soon and not running either. So that's less things that are being required. Cool. We do have a bunch of tin here, but unfortunately it is on the literal wrong side of the base to be able to help titanium. But, you know, means it shouldn't need to spend the resources, so that's okay, I suppose. These are crystallizer 1s. That is as fascinating as it is terrifying. So let's just real quick upgrade. Let's just upgrade all the crystallizers. Let's not joke around. This is not a time for joking around. This is a time for serious business. Except tin. We don't really care about tin. Now these look like they're doing well, but they could be doing better. A little bit more speed. A little bit more juice, a little bit more squeeze, as they say. And we just want this going faster, and we want this going faster as well. Because the problem is not productivity at this point, it's just speed. Because what I also want to see is this copper. Yep, this copper is now overflowing. Fantastic. Because if it's overflowing, that means it's going down to the aluminium. Not that we really need a lot of aluminium at this point, but it's good to have. Because I mean, it makes 360 aluminium instead of like the much smaller number of what, 120? Yeah. And we've got iron coming through at a decent pace. That is wonderful news. And if we get that just coming through faster and more, I would be even more delighted. But what I might do, actually, there is a sludge drop there. How many trains are designed to come to here? 2. Okay. Then where am I? 1 train? If I'd move those slightly, like 1 unit together, would that have worked better? Probably. Because then they would share their amounts a little bit easier. Okay, well, again, new thoughts about how to better do loading and unloading of liquids, and that's going to be useful for the next game. And we are unloading the sludge. Good. That's what we want to see. Just a lot of unloaded sludge. Iron, of course, but that should be one of those things that we get under control fairly quickly. Fairly soon, rather. Solder. Yeah, it's doing what it can, I suppose. We're sort of making solder. And I think we might want to go and get some upgrades. Just ditch a couple of things in my inventory that I shouldn't need anymore. But yes, titanium is the real problem, I think, now. Which is strange and confusing. Mostly due to it's just not making enough blue processing chips. So I would like some more crystallizers, please. I'm sure there are somewhere. There they are. And that'll allow me to build more not cobalt. More copper in a moment. Just seeing if I can do anything to improve the tin right now. You know what? Looks like tin is getting through now. Okay, no, that's actually amazing news. Because if tin is getting through, that means... Ow, hit by a train. Aluminium has gotten through. Okay, this is where we want to be. Yes. Okay, great. And we want to connect that like that. Some of that's still nickel. Hard to say for sure. That should all be tin. Tell me I haven't made some stupid mistake here. Oh no, it's not supposed to be tin, it's supposed to be tine. That's a different thing. Oh, it's because it grabbed nickel. Okay, we're good, we're good. But that should have pushed up my production quite a bit. Meanwhile, that can go away. We don't care about the nickel anymore, so let's just throw that in the bin. And let's also improve these. Okay, so that should be producing a lot more titanium than we previously had considered. I don't think I'd want to go any further than that. I think we're happy. Maybe it'd be good though to have a second one. Yeah, I think if we tried to go any faster than that, I think we would actually start slowing ourselves down paradoxically. And yeah, titanium production going well. Or at least far better. And that should also be, yeah, that should if I go and look at blue chips, I should see some real improvements here. I'm really scared because usually when I say this stupid line, it doesn't actually reflect what I've seen. Nope, that's improvement. That's actual improvement. My goodness. They said such a thing was impossible, and yet here we are, seeing actual improvement. Cool. And that should also boost yellow circuits, which just makes everything faster for everyone. And titanium is almost at a good position once more. Titanium is not flowing out quite as fast. I don't know why they're so far apart. They could have just all been on the same line, but they weren't. So if we check... Wow, cobalt steel is the next problem. Ow, hit by a train. Cobalt steel is the next problem, because that is slowing down the... things that... What are they called? I don't know why I'm so particular about the things are called now. No, not blue science. That's the wrong science. Yellow. Capacitor bank. Nope. Yeah, the thermal energy store. It's slowing those down because they need cobalt for that. So, can we boost iron production? And honestly, I think the only way we can really boost that is by doing what we were doing with the crystallizers. By making them a bit faster. Which, really, that's just pure steel required for that. Which honestly is taking what it can. So the good news is a lot of the iron here isn't actually being used. So that means any iron that comes through is actually going through. Probably could be improved with some speed modules, because when a thing's not improved by speed modules, the answer is never. Everything's improved by speed modules. And probably could even speed up those inserters. Which is strange they weren't already sped up, but whatever. And the train's just going to empty out, and then we'll be in a better place again. Solder is almost full. That's great. That means less resources will be required for solder. Heck yeah. Tin, doing well. Solder, doing well. Lead, kind of disappointing. Is lead required for any sciences? It's probably the real question, isn't it? If lead's required for a science, then shit it is. Okay, well, you know what? Solder's fine. It'll fix itself. God, this liquid bus was a mistake, and I will not be repeating it. At least not to this extent. Blue science going very, very well. When I get to 70%, I'll reassess some of these sciences and see if they can be turned off. Right now, I think we're okay. The one that might need to be turned off rather than anything else would be green sciences. I do not think we need quite as much as we're actually got going here. But we'll have a look at that. We'll gain another 7% and then we'll seriously examine if we need it. Seriously examine it. We're not going to casually examine it. Serious examination. Now, I didn't really do much to actually aid in the production of steel, or cobalt steel, but it does look like it's making some improvements, I guess. Yeah, cobalt steel is being made. Occasionally one slips past and gets turned into silicon steel, but that's alright. Silicon steel is not a real thing. But that should be good enough. Probably. So if I check on... no, I don't need those anymore. If I check on yellow science, most of them are running. This is the slowdown because of the lack of cobalt, but even that seems to be doing a little bit better than it used to be, so we might be alright on that one now. Also, this is one of the main uses of titanium. Well, actually, no, the blue chips are huge uses of titanium as well, so we're probably fine. In fact, this train doesn't even need to deliver its powdery goodness anymore, which seems like a mistake. There's always more powdery goodness to deliver. So let us change this when I find it. There we go. Nope, not that one. The powder station. There it is. Okay, let us just change that to be 10,000. Let's just overload it with tungsten powder. There is no harm in having too much tungsten powder unless you're eating it. In which case, apparently it can cause cancer, so don't do that. So I've read. We're still making a lot of sand. That's probably not required, but we're still making it anyway. Wonder if we can boost cobalt steel another way. Because we do have more steel manufactorums. I don't know why I'm calling them manufactorums. What do I think I am? Like some sort of Warhammer 40,000 person? I am not. Although I do like to praise the Omnisire occasionally, so I guess that's its own thing. I was kind of hoping science would be moving faster than it's currently moving. That's not great. Can we make science move faster? Or rephrase that, we need science to move faster. Yeah, you know what? I know a way I can do that. Since I'm not using cobalt anymore, I can probably change some of these things. Let's just grab all of this. Eventually something's going to help. Kind of anticipating getting more than 18 productivity modules, but that's all I got. Whoa, 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 why are you not giving me lots of steel? You should be giving me lots of steel. The heck is wrong with you, boy? Okay. So the next plan is increase the productivity of these and then boost their speed as well. And then of course, to compensate that, I will need to boost this speed and also their inserters. And then probably these as well, but that's okay. The whole point is we just need to get more of these through as fast as possible. Because before we didn't really care too much about iron, but it turns out that is actually one of the biggest slowdowns we have right now. Which is not great. It's far from acceptable. Speed up all of that junk, speed up all of that junk, speed up all of that junk. We're out of inserters again, that's okay, it happens all the time. Speed up these. Speed up these. In fact, now it's actually looking like it's going slowly for a different reason, which is both cool and scary. Because we just want more steel, that's all we want. And if things are ever slow because of lack of steel, let's just speed up steel. That's all I bloody want. Okay. Now that's manufacturing things a little bit faster, which is good. The important thing is that the sludge is also more stable. That's actually not fast enough. You wouldn't have thought it, but it is true. So we speed up everything with green belts. And that should... Oh, except for the end. You don't want to do the end, right? The end was a little bit too much work for you. This factory, so lazy. Okay, so that all rushes through there as fast as it can, but then it all jams up for a new reason. That's okay. We'll push it through faster as well. And there we go. Speed those up as well. That comes through a faster, absolute faster mess. Prefer not to be spending more resources than making what I need to make faster. That should help. We have blast furnace 4s. I feel like I don't. I feel like I never thought that was worth my time. No, we're only on blast furnace 3s. That's okay. Shouldn't really be required. And that'll also give us more molten steel, and if that gets through, it'll make more cobalt steel, which that's good. Oh, I see why that was slow, because that was actually requiring nickel to proceed. Okay. Well... Let's just change that back to regular iron, I suppose. Get rid of the cobalt. Chuck the iron on there, that's fine, it can go in there. And chuck the nickel. Okay, so it was slow for that reason. So there was a reason for its slowness. Nothing good, but reason nonetheless. And if we just keep pushing things through faster and faster and faster, we should actually get somewhere. I think 20 ore processor 2s would be better than 10. Okay, I was really hoping to be at like 70% science right now, but I didn't anticipate there being a problem with cobalt, steel, and titanium, but that's alright, we'll get there very soon. Okay, I think we're good. How are we going with yellow science? I'd like to be looking at this fairly regularly just to make sure that nothing's being missed. And it does look like cobalt steel is still the problem, which is fine. Keep working on steel, that'll get itself sorted out pretty quickly. And can we just improve all these bad boys? Probably. Because the boys, despite their badness, have to be improved. And you are still hilariously slow, to the point that is actually disappointing. It appears there was a bit of a slowdown here because they are trying to, you know, push through so much work with next to no resources. But that should be resolved very soon and will result in, again, more steel. If everything results in more steel, I'm pretty happy. But again, I really shouldn't have used non-stack inserters for so long. Like, I think these are just regular inserters. Yeah, they were just regular fast inserters, and despite their name, they're just not fast enough. Steel is up to 90% of its pipage. That's good news, because everything that gets through there will go make cobalt steel, and that we need. Okay, upgrading a couple of these crystallizer 2s. That's good times. We're out of crystallizer 2s now though, which is not good times. But, you know, you get a full iron line being split and making a lot of steel, that's probably fine. And in fact, steel is now backed up. It's exactly what we wanted to see. So this steel ingots will now go on a wild adventure through half the factory to go make cobalt steel rather. And we got some tin just slowly making some solder, which, quite honestly, we got plenty of solder. I really wish cobalt steel wasn't mostly steel with a little bit of cobalt. If it was the other way around, it'd be so much easier. But I guess that's the point, isn't it? Not about being easier. It's about being more of a pain in your butt. Just going to throw away a bunch of stuff so that way the bots will figure out what I actually do need to carry and what I don't. If you do that, the bots will be like, they'll pick something up, they go, oh, you still want this, and they just drop it off immediately, so that saves a bit of time. Okay, cobalt steel, how are we going down here? I expect this to be going pretty well now. It's going about the same, honestly. They are all going, so that's something. The only thing I could really... Yeah, they're still having problems with a little bit of minerals. Which is concerning, to say the least. But yellow science still being made. Despite the general shortage of cobalt steel, it is still coming through. So I was going to at 70% see if I could cut off production of anything, but I might be doing that at 66%. Because I'm pretty sure we can get rid of some green science at that point. Because these look to be pretty full. And green, oh actually, green science isn't even a problem. Blue science is kind of a problem because it requires so many different types of materials. And so does blue science, I suppose. Green science. Green science and blue science are both kind of pains in their own right. I suppose that's the walkaway conclusion we're going to take from that. We've finally got through all the paper. Not too surprising. That's all pretty cleaned up. We hopefully won't need to turn that back on, but if we do, we do. Blue chips are being full. Just cobalt. Cobalt steel is literally the only problem we have. And hopefully, seeing a lot more steel come through here. I am in fact seeing a lot more steel come through here. And I believe the first batch of that is going to start... I don't know if we needed to go that way. No, you know what? We got plenty of steel. Steel is not a problem. We can change that. Hey Solburn, how you doing? Welcome to the last episode of SeaBlock. Okay, so we need to probably not have it deviate into steel. Because quite frankly, cobalt steel is the one that's screwed up for some gosh darn reason. So let's just have an input priority that way. Nope. No, not potentially. It is. I'm absolutely done. Today is the day. Unless, of course, we're like 30 hours in and I've made a terrible mistake with my life, but we shouldn't be that bad. We're looking at running this train into the ground today, so that way I can start on space exploration on Monday. So that's what we're thinking about. It's more likely the last episode than not. Of course, if you're looking at this on YouTube and it doesn't have the words final in parentheses, post a comment saying, haha, you were wrong. But you know, that's fun. A new mod? Oh god, what does this new mod do? What does this mod do? Tell me about it. Okay, you know what? We do have a bit of a problem. I mean, unless it sounds more interesting than SeaBlock, I'm still going to SeaBlock. Not SeaBlock. Space exploration. I'm still doing space exploration, but please tell me about it. Oh no, goodness gracious! I don't want to eat. I mean, it sounds cool, but I think I'll pass on having to worry about food. Food in video games is a frustrating thing, and I don't want to deal with it. Okay, that should push things through just a little bit. Better? Maybe? But that's still cool. I mean, yeah. Maybe that'll be the next one. We'll see. Cobalt steel kind of collapsed for yellow, so I'm just getting that sorted at the moment. But that shouldn't be too far away from being done. Yellow is still always going to be the problem. It's just, that's the nature of the beast. But tungsten powder is absolutely fine now because it doesn't need to share it with the rocket. We have launched all the rockets save one. Oh, nice. Congratulations. So all the steel should be turned into cobalt steel, and that should be pretty good. Yeah, it's going. Spiders are starting to bite. Were they not biting before? What sort of friendly-ass spiders did you have in your factory? Spiders love to bite, and spitters love to spit, and worms, I've heard they're great dancers. What dance do the worms do? The robot. I mean, that is funny in my mind, but obviously not the correct answer. Okay, but we've got a lot of cobalt steel coming through. Hopefully this helps. This is zinc. Oh, yeah, that could be a problem. I'm just going to build a warehouse for the zinc to go into. Ah, okay. I forget biters make new bases. Like, I know it's a thing that they've always done, but I always forget that they do it. Seems rude. Okay, so that should mean that this can be producing my cobalt. Just not exactly the way I should be producing cobalt, but we can improve it. Oh! Yeah, I've never used the capsules. I've just never sort of found a need for them. But I guess when you're doing a death world, the need presents itself, doesn't it? Okay, cool. Okay, we could pull cobalt from up there, should it be required. I don't know if it's required yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. Cobalt steel is building up. That is fantastic news. So that means yellow science should be also beginning to catch up with this, and It's doing better. Not all of these are being manufactured right now, which is not great. 33% today is the plan, yes. Well, 33% to go. So if we can get 15% per hour, that should be easy. And really a lot of that, you know what? No, let's not assume cobalt will be actually, I think we've already done that. I think we've already connected cobalt to that. We have. But 33% today should be possible in the next 2-3 hours. Because there should be no slowdown of resources. In fact, if anything, it should get faster because we can start turning things off. Have you... Oh, you've got the nuclear reactor. Nice. It's always nice to have the nuclear reactor. It's just a lot less... I assume it's less pollution. I don't know the stats on it, but I assume it is. And you know what? These could be faster. You know what? They could be faster. I need them to be faster. Okay, and so they're going faster now, and I assume by proxy these are probably also going okay? Not really, they actually, if anything, need faster inserters. Yeah, solar is an interesting one. Like, I've never really built a solar base. I understand I might have to do a little bit of that in space exploration, especially when I get to either the explore part or the space part, probably the space part. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, depends what stage you're in, I suppose. I mean, the problem with solar panels you've also got to worry about is accumulators. Because you don't want to run out of power during the night. So, yeah. Something you do need to worry about. Actually, speaking of worrying about things, let's speed these up. Because for some reason, that's not great. I mean, it's mostly good news, aside from the fact that it is still running a bit slow. In fact, what we could do is take this line. Let's do it this way. That way we've got a bit more room to spread one's legs, shall we say. Good New Zealand meme right there. Okay. Yeah, I look forward to it. Should be interesting. I am sure I will make a cavalcade of errors in space exploration, so look forward to that. At least with this mod I had an idea of what I was doing before going into it, because I'd done it before, but space exploration, it's going to be a whole new world of F-ups. So I'm looking forward to that, I really am. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. SeaBlock is chill. Wait, is there time pressure in space exploration? I mean, aside from biters? Or is it like one of those things that there is a planet going to crowd? There's biters and some events. Wait, what? There's a vent? Oh god, no. That should be fun. I'm sure I'll manage. It's just a little bit scary thinking about the unknown. Oh, that's not true, actually. I am deathly afraid of the unknown, which is why I try to avoid it whenever possible. At this point, we're actually almost to the point that we don't have many of these being made, so that's good. I've read about asteroids like crashing into planets, if that's what you're talking about. And that's fine. I've played DEFCON before. I mean, those aren't asteroids, I suppose, but, you know, same thing. Asteroids, nukes, they're all the same thing to me. Okay, looks like Cobalt Steel has got its shit together. And all of them are manufacturing. Oh. Time to make more? You know what? I will agree with you this time. I've just got to figure out where from. Because I need some productivity modules, because I see no reason to waste resources this time. Where am I going to get productivity modules from? Because I want only the best. Probably fine to take these. 6, that's pretty good. We can probably steal some more from somewhere else. When that thing gets up to about 95, maybe 98%, I'm going to steal a lot of stuff from my base. Yeah, so it is time to make more productivity modules, I agree. Oh, you know what? Here's going to have some. Boop. Boop, you're not making shit anymore, you don't need them. Okay, this might be too much, but you know what they say. Better too much than not enough. That's not what they say, I wasn't listening, I'm sorry. And I've killed my power. Okay. Okay, we're going to need to put speed modules in those as well, but we'll sort that out in just a moment. Now, right now they're producing incredibly slowly. That's just because they are slow. But we do that, and they'll just buck right up. Now the question is, how many of these are they wanting? 4 per second? How many of these can make? 7.8 per second. Probably true, aside from the fact I don't know if that is actually correct. 5 point... yeah, maybe it is. The big delay might be these here, because they actually struggled getting the resources in quite the correct way. I mean, I could make these, move these around and make better ones. I don't know how or why. Well, no, I know why, but I don't know how. But I mean, if that's the thing that's slowing me down, I mean, maybe that's... what else am I doing, right? But these are all manufacturing, and that is awesome to see. The alternative to making more, I just realized, was just putting more beacons in there, but that's okay, we didn't do that. We should get about 3,000 by the time this train leaves, which is pretty good news. Now it seems like the delay is tungsten. Interesting. I'll have that one go like that, and that one like that. No, that one actually was fine the way it was. Because then what we can do is have this drop like that. And then this drop like that. Okay, so the tungsten train's coming in. Yeah, we may need to boost tungsten production. No, tungsten production's fine, actually. It's just we might need to get the train in far more often. Again, the train comes in pretty quickly and it dumps a lot of tungsten. It's probably fine. It was just the fact that it wasn't quite emptying properly. And now it is. So we're at 3,400. That is a good amount of science. I mean, that's quite about right. 3,000 over, let's say, 16,666. So that's about 2% coming through every 5 minutes. Okay, see that's... If we can hold those numbers, we should be alright. We just gotta hold those numbers. And it's probably not 5 minutes because it does have to move and load and unload, but that's alright. Now I'm a little bit worried about the tungsten, so I'm going to take this train along and see what we can do if we can need to boost anything over there. But while we're traveling, we can have a look and just watch all the robots take all the yellow science. Because here they come. Does that empty out that like entire roboport? Sandwich and Man? Not quite. Above the tungsten there is a inserter bottleneck. There is a little bit. Yes, I'm aware of that. Hopefully I fixed that though. Okay, no, this looks like it's going to fill up pretty quickly. And we've got a lot of backlog, and it does make a lot of tungsten as well. So that should be all right. The powder is coming through quite quickly as well, but that is fine. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, that's alright. So titanium should be good, tungsten should be good, aluminium should be good for some reason. I don't know why, and cobalt steel should be sorted now as well. So with that, there is nothing in theory stopping my glorious ascension. By glorious ascension, I mean with FTL technology. I mean, that's pretty glorious ascension if you ask me. Well, this train hasn't had a single delay. Excuse me? What's going on here, guys? Do you have a problem? Does everyone need to be here right now? Is this the way we conduct base activities? Don't be foolish. Look at that, we just got a bunch of trains with mineral sludge. Oh, because someone was being lazy and selfish. Disgusting. Yeah, science is beginning to go down. That's fine. Tungsten might actually still be a problem. I always love that emoji. That's a cute one. So it was agreed upon that I would see this to the end. I was told don't do this unless it takes like too long, and I said it should be fine. So hopefully I've not made a liar. Otherwise, I expect Panda's emojis to get more like frustrated as the night goes on, as she's like, you said you were like gonna go to sleep at a reasonable time. I hope not to let her down, but we'll see. Sounds a lot dodgy than it was meant to be. Anyway, pink science still coming through. Good. When we get 70%, we will reassess how we're doing with sciences, and I imagine that's going to be happening any moment now. Staying up late for the launch. Well, that's the point, yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I just want to get it done. I just want to finish this. Because the problem is if I finish at the normal time, I will be like possibly like only a very short time left, and so it's, you know, also to celebrate 110 followers, because I like celebrating tiny milestones. One day I'll have a larger milestone than 10 people, but not today. But yeah, so we're doing well. In the factory, I mean. But it would be nice if the sciences... You gotta have your teeny milestones. Appreciate what you got. So it goes through about 17 per second, or 1,000 per minute. So if I can get 5,000 yellow science in a train, it literally will not stop. Which is an exciting concept. But I feel like titanium is just going to keep being the issue. And I don't like it. Not titanium, sorry, tungsten. Gosh. And until we get tungsten properly sorted, we're never going to get the full... Although we could actually get 4,000 this train run. And the train has almost arrived. Just before it runs out. It's what I like to call just-in-time delivery. But yeah, it just... need more of these, that's the problem. Like, sure, I'm going to need a ton of these as well, but right now they're not backing up. So how am I going to make more of these? Well... Okay, I know how you do it. Simple. Kill the Batman. Failing that, you, make another train. And then you kill the Batman. So we're going to make a second tungsten train. Ow, got hit by a train. Why has everyone stopped? What are you afraid of? You've got to kill the Batman. He's a menace. And I'm aware that's supposed to be Spider-Man, but, you know, Batman's a menace too. He's still a vigilante. Vigilantism is not an okay thing. Dennis is the real menace. Yes, but which one? Are we talking about the British one or the American one? Because the British one is actually a menace. The American one's just kind of a shitty kid. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure out where fuel for the train even is. And then I've actually got to get the train started. There we go. Some fuel for the train just to get started. But yeah, Dennis the Menace is fascinating. How two different cartoonists came up with Dennis the Menace and started being published within the same week, but they were two completely independent characters with completely independent thoughts, and they didn't know of each other. They're just like, hey, I've got a new character, it's called Dennis the Menace, says an American. He's just kind of a shitty kid. And then a British person's like, I got Dennis the Menace, and he's got a dog that just tears the shit out of postmen and laughs and just injures people for hilarity. And it's like, This is a darker character. You know, there's no Mr. Wilson in the British version. Okay, so my plan is if I have more trains with tungsten plates, we are going to run out of tungsten plates actually if we do this. Okay, so how do we improve tungsten plates? Well, tungsten powder's the problem again. What a gosh darn surprise. It always is. Okay, so we're back to tungsten powder. Where's the problem? Where's the bottleneck? Well, I believe it's crystals. Again. Yeah, so I knew of the American one first, but not necessarily from the cartoon, but because I think it was the movie, you know, I don't know who the heck was in it, some kid was in it, but it was like, that's the American version, whereas the British version I just sort of stumbled across, like, they had them in comics called the Beano. It's very, very popular in England, I understand. But he's just a mean child, like, he's very mean. Like, he just injures people and just finds it hilarious. And his dogs are the worst. And it's like, that's the joke, that the child is aggressive and a dick, like an actual asshole, as opposed to Dance the Menace, who's just like the American one, who's just like, oopsies, I made a mess and I broke something, oh, I feel bad now. But overall, the American one, he's still a good kid. You know, he's a bad kid, but he's still a good, he tries to be good. Not the British one. Like, I haven't read too much of the British one, but what I've seen, I'm just like, this kid's an asshole. I mean, I only had like 1 or 2 Beano comics growing up, so I don't... Maybe he's not, maybe it just happened to be the editor at the time, but... I'm just saying what I saw. Yeah! He's actually a menace, like he's actually a hooligan. Like, he's the sort of kid that'll grow up and be like in, you know, prison for crimes of like stabbing someone or bottling someone. The other kid will probably grow out of it. Yeah, exactly. Shitty child. Like, one's like attention deficit disorder, the other one's hyperactive attention deficit disorder. But as I'm saying, the fun thing is they are 2 independent characters made at about the same time by 2 completely different artists around the world, and neither of them had the idea. So it was like, well, you're going to sue them for copyright infringement? And they had a discussion. Went, no, because neither of us. The only thing we did together was had the idea of Dennis the Menace, which is a cool rhyme. That was what we had, a rhyme. Okay, so it's time to do some maths. Nope. I've got a calculator for this. Okay, so we know we need 200,000, but we don't because we need divide 1 point. I don't know how numbers work. Divide 1.24. 24. Rip alt mode? Did I rip alt mode? Okay, it's fixed. Thank you. I would have figured it out eventually, don't worry. Okay, so we still have 39% to go. No, 29% to go. So 46,000 is remaining. Thank you. Yep. I got there eventually. So we have 46,000 to go. So let's look at green science first. So let's worry about what's in the manufactory green science. So we've got minus 8,600. Use the maths correctly. Minus 8,600, minus 8,600, minus 8,600. Okay. 12,000 remaining. We've got way more than we need. We can turn off green. Awesome. Let's turn off green now. And press alt mode again. Okay, so green is done. We do not need to worry about green anymore. That turns off a lot of manufacturing that's been required. Next we'll test if blue needs to be done. Probably should have written down that number somewhere. That's okay. So if we do that, finish off the resources you made, but don't bring in any more. Oh, that's clever. Yeah, I could do that. Because I mean, I'm always pressing Alt, so yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that. Okay, so I don't mind if it builds up a little bit more. I'll just let it finish its runs. But it should be all complete very soon. Actually, why am I letting it finish the runs? There's no reason. Doop. And that's the easiest one to stop. And those are already done, so no reason to continue those. Isn't there like another thing? Or is that already done? Oh, those are still needed. Do not stop those. Okay. So we need those for blue signs, so don't turn those off. Green isn't a major material user. It's not bad actually. It's using quite a bit of iron, lead, copper, and tin. While it's not huge resources, it does take stuff, so at the very least turning it off is not a bad thing to do. Using fast inserters, so you know. And it's using copper, and you know, it's using stuff, so turning it off is not a bad move. Now blue is probably the next one I've got my eye on, because blue does actually take a lot of resources. So let's do the maths again. Let's bring up the old calculator. Okay, so we're at 72% now. Wow, that's exciting. So 200,000, we already know that math. 1.24, we know that math. Times that by 0.28. So we need 45,000. Okay. Well, that's 8,900, 8,900. 27,000. This one might not be able to be turned off just yet. Minus 6,800. Minus 9,600. Minus 5,000. Okay, so by that logic, 5,000 is 3%. So I'll turn it off at 75%. Is that right? So 6,000, let's just go. Let's go the easy 6,000. 0.28. No. That's not how numbers work. Okay, so if we go by, that's why we want to be times. Divide by 100. So 5,000 or 6,000 divided by that, that's an extra 4%. So we'll turn it off to 76%. Yeah, we'll just close the calculator. Oop. Turn off blue at... Reassess at 76. Blue. I was like, maybe we don't turn it off immediately. Maybe we have to reassess it because maybe something goes wrong there and we're actually not ready. You bring Python? What for? If you're talking about coding stuff, I mean, I don't understand Python. I'm no Harry Potter. I don't speak Parcel Tongue. Yeah, that's fair enough. See, if I was loading a coding language, I'd have to learn C, because then it would be SeiferKatt. And that would really need to be the joke that I have to make all my life. I'm sorry that anyone had to witness that. But, you know, experience my pain. Oh, okay, now the other side's slowed down for yellow. Well, okay, let's go figure out what that side's wrong now. Why are you guys slow? Silicon, huh? Don't feel like making a lot of silicon. Because you're lazy. Actually, I don't think it's because they're lazy. I think it's just that you don't actually have enough silicon coming through. We've just never really had that problem. Okay. Right then. Well, that's going to help a bit. Hopefully it's going to help enough, I don't really know. That's a silly cone indeed. Or as I like to call it, a golden gay time. That's an Australian thing though. I like the bot that say Yuri. Bot say Yuri? What? I don't understand. Wait, like... Do they actually? I thought they just beeped and booped. I didn't know they actually said things. There is a roguelike called Bionic Jews. Now I've always got to be careful that it's Dews, D-U-E-S, not Bionic Jews. That's a different game. But the robots in that game, when they die, they shout things like, "Why was I programmed to feel pain?" And that fills me with joy every time. But it's weird, like the game is written like as a serious, like, you know, if this mission fails, the city's going to be nuked and everyone here will die, so don't fail. And then the bots are just so funny and say like comedic things, and I am so confused of like why the bots, like why the bot dialogue is just so funny. But yeah, Bionic Jews, it's a good game. Years ago I did a series of it on YouTube, so if people want to watch that, it's still there. Anyways, hopefully that will speed things up a little bit. I don't know if it's sped it up too much though, that's the problem. I mean, I guess every one of these I add, it just helps a bit. That one's not actually helping that much. And it looks like we might be running out of silicon very soon. But a train's coming by, so it's fine. With fast stack inserters. Cool, that's a good way to get things done in a hurry. My sarcasm, it knows no bounds. Hopefully with this extra silicon coming through, it is now producing more, and it is in fact backing up. That is good news for everyone involved. Why am I going for production modules here? It just slows it down. For like next to no gain. Good news, everyone. Oh my goodness, Professor Farnsworth, so good. Fantastic character. We are at 1.1 thousand. Science should be speeding up very shortly. I always liked Fry in Futurama. I know he's an idiot, but he is a fun character. And honestly, that's all that matters. Yeah, it looks like it's going a little bit faster. As long as more of these being manufactured, that's what we really need to see. The problem is each one of these requires like 10 silicon nitride, and they take so much time to build. Exactly, yeah, he's an everyman, and you need those. And I like to imagine I'm an idiot. Like I need to imagine. But, you know, he's also like the old character that sort of says like, I don't understand how this world weird. And then someone go, ha, Fry, you stupid. World weird because that's how world work. And he go, I so confused. But he was never a smart man, even in the 20th century, actually. He didn't live in the 21st century. It's an important distinction. Futurama is a show that I could really watch again. Maybe I should. I watched the first episode again and I chuckled a lot at it, and so maybe that's a good reason enough to watch it again. Yeah, those being made. Awesome. Maybe I need to actually go and go back to Yellow Science and see if there's anything I can boost. Because let's be honest, that's really the only thing that matters now. I keep saying that, but then I keep wandering off. Look, you know what? You guys are doing great. I love what you're doing. I see this is beginning to back up, which is super cool. And that should ramp this up in an interesting manner. Hopefully. If it doesn't, don't worry, I got a plan. Just, I'm glad I left such big gaps here, just in case I didn't want, in case I wanted to put something else in there. Okay, good. I could also grab silicon and just pull it out over here, but don't know if that's really required. I'm lost. It happens every now and then. Honestly, you'd be surprised I'm not lost more often. Actually, what we could do as well is turn some of these into speed module 3s. Because let's be honest, we'll probably be able to get some efficiencies out of them near the end. And we will pull some efficiencies out of these before we're done. Okay, so that improvement should blow that one apart. Meaning we should be going back to the problem of something else. At least we've got 5 going at all times, so that's neat. I'm going to miss this factory, I really am. I'm also not going to miss this factory. Like, I'm not turning back on this factory. Like, once I'm out of here, once I get that FTL device, I am out of here. I might do like a little bit of a time-lapse thing to you know, put something on YouTube of just like a time-lapse thing, because people enjoy time-lapses. I rephrase that, I love a good time-lapse. And so by that extension, I assume other people love a good time lapse. I did not. However, and this is the thing that's going to be a manual process, I did save every time I saved under a new save. So I may just have to do like a manual, take a screenshot, take a screenshot, take a screenshot thing. And I know there's a way to do that, but it's going to be, you know, like over 100 of those, and then piece them all together. So, yay! That's going to be fun. But we'll see. That's what we're going to try anyway. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but we'll give it a go. And if it doesn't work, then, you know, if this isn't if this video does get posted with a time lapse, then it was not possible. If it is posted with a time lapse, then you'll also see it at the end of this. Well, you'll see it at the end of this, and also as a separate video. Actually, no, just a separate video. I'm too lazy for that. And I suppose that's my project for tomorrow. That is fun. I don't know if this is quite fast enough yet. I feel like we still need to go faster. I feel like we need more beacons though. We'll get more beacons and see if we can make this faster. Or maybe it doesn't even need to be faster. Maybe we'll be at a speed where it's fine. Wait, I read that wrong. I read in vanilla and I assumed you meant in beta, but you mean that's still the case? That's strange. They really stretch those belts out, huh? Wonder why. I don't like belt threading. Belt threading is something I've never enjoyed looking at. I know some people like get some really cool, efficient designs out of it, but I'm just like, why is that stopped? I think it's stopped because there's nothing actually doing that. Where is that train going very slowly and ominously? We may actually be at the point that I was hoping we're at, where the trains actually get filled up and then go, I don't really have anywhere to go right now. We are there. Okay, awesome. That means all my destinations are full of trains not really producing much. So that also means we can probably... So that means this should be almost full all the time. We just need to speed it up a bit. How do we speed it up? Well, we've got these speed module 3s. I don't think I can steal anything from green, but I can certainly steal things from pink. So let's steal from pink. Don't steal that much. I need 500 of each level 3s. Yes, I am well aware of that. A lot of those level 3s are going to be stolen right at the end. So I do have them. This is actually the other reason why I've got this. I'm going to upgrade planner. I'm going to have 500 things in my inventory, and I'm just going to go for a walk. And we'll see what happens. I've got the 500 efficiency modules, I'm pretty sure. Yep, I've got 700 efficiency modules, so that is all good to go. And the other modules are just spread out through the factory in willful ignorance, and that's how we're going to do it. That's our plan. It occurs to me that one of the reasons why this might be delayed is because we apparently have a cool thing where we've done this. And that's super cool and I love it. But I do actually need to do it here too. Okay. So that should be producing more tungsten now. Keep an eye on it just for a moment while we figure out what's wrong with it. Sorry, the police were outside, it was surprising. They do that sometimes. Just the nature of the police. They just hang around sometimes and be like, "Hi, how you doing? We're the police." A lot of complaints about the police helicopter of late. Very loud. Susanna? Should I know someone is missing called Susanna? Is this a reference to a police song? Like, I don't listen to the police, but if this is a reference to a police song, then, you know, I'm just gonna look at it. Police Susanna. It is indeed. Well, no, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to go interrupt them in what they're doing. They're probably busy right now. Doing whatever the heck they're doing. This seems to be a little bit faster, but it could still probably be boosted. Okay, that's gone well. Got plenty of acid, plenty of acid, plenty of acid. Fluric wastewater is looking troubling. So we'll do another one. Cannot build on deep water. Damn, that water just totally got me. Okay, so let's get rid of that fluric wastewater before it actually becomes a problem. Because we know that would be the next thing to go wrong. How do I know? I've played this game long enough. Actually, no. Don't put it there. Put it here. That way it speeds up a few more things. Actually, don't even put it there. That flashing icon? Oh, sorry. Yep. Fair enough. Sorry. This one pipe got damaged probably when I was building that little lake. I love the demanding nature, that sad demand. Please fix it. It's just, oh, it's just too much. I respect that though. That's the difference with Twitch and YouTube videos. You can actually be like someone, look, can you fix that? Or can you stop doing the thing you're doing because it's so very wrong? Sometimes I'm watching someone play a game and I'm just like, usually I want to learn see if it's something that I want to buy. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, it's being played so incorrectly. Like, I can see what the correct action is, and it frustrates me that they're doing the complete other thing, and I just have to leave. It's like the only resolution I have, just to stop watching. So if you're on YouTube and, well, if you're this far in, then I mean, sorry. I like the tin nickel line, that's kind of fun. Yeah, I think there's also a case to be said with when you are streaming, it is a little bit more that you also have to be paying attention to talking while you're playing. And so you can get those beautiful disasters where everything goes wrong and you're just like... So in some ways I sympathize. In other ways, like, you know, it's like watching Game Grumps and they're like, the big red flashing thing is like, you know, do this. And they're like, ah, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And it's like, oh my god, it's in the middle of your screen, it's been there for 5 minutes. And they're like, ah, this game's so bad, I don't even know what to do, they didn't tell me. It's like, just read the big flashing red that's getting bigger and bigger. And they go, oh, it told me now. And it's like, it was always yeah, that's the sort of thing that bothers me. But you know, that's what I get for watching Game Grumps. So, I haven't watched them for a while though. Yes please. It's not completely empty, but... Thank you. Oh yeah, exactly. And people do kind of enjoy that obliviousness, but you know, I don't watch... When I watch that, I don't watch it for good gameplay or even smart gameplay. I watch it for dumb conversations between two idiots. And I love them for it, but they are idiots sometimes. And speaking of idiots, we need more of this stuff. Where is this going? Where is this going? Glass. Okay, glass can continue. Glass is an important thing that we... Well, actually, no, hang on. No. Yeah, glass is important, but we have all of this stuff. So why are we bringing it all the way down there? Down circuit switch. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. It's difficult, and it is also, while streaming you want to keep like doing a thing and keep trying to be entertaining, and you can be in a position where you just go like, I'm not going to read that, because me going, okay, now read the text slowly and understand. Oh yeah, okay, I do get that sort of thing. That's funny. If you ever played Oxygen Not Included, it's always like infuriating to me when people have like their screenshots that just show like they show a screenshot and in the top corner, like over here, you just see like 30 tutorial messages they just didn't click off, and you're like, just click them off, just get rid of them, please, just remove them. And they're like, oh, I didn't even notice them. And you're like, how did you not notice them? They're right there. You've been playing with them on there for like hours probably. Like, oh, no. I mean, that's fine. That's more of just a... Yeah, exactly. I mean, I work with people. I try not to. But I... Sorry, that joke was for me. I work with people who... If you've ever used like an Office product, say, let's just say it's not an Office product, and one specific. What am I talking about? Give me a second. Outlook. When you have a meeting and it like comes up, like you have a meeting, and you can like snooze it or put it away, and it goes away, and it never bothers. It'll bother you the next time you open up Outlook. And I just like glanced over at someone's screen, and they had like 40 reminders of meetings that had like been done like months ago, and I'm just like, what is happening here? Like, how do you have 40 reminders about meetings that have long since passed? And they're like, I don't even see it. And I'm like, how do you not see this? Like, I mean, you know, they are very busy. I've seen them on their phone a lot. And so it's just there, always on the taskbar, blinking. It's blinking, for God's sake. So, you know, I understand Soulburn, why it was bothering you before, but it's blinking and they just don't see it, and they just don't even, and they're like, I don't even know how to get rid of this. How will I deal with this? I'll just leave it. Just close it. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. You don't need it. You clearly don't need it. Drives me crazy. But that's what you get. Okay, so that should present more batteries. Sorry? No one needs my judgment in their life, and yet they get it anyway. Oh yeah, no, I respect that. It bothers me that even this is here. Well, look, I mean, if you see something on my screen that shouldn't be there, just tell me. I mean, you do that anyway, and that's totally fine. You're welcome to. It's not a problem. Fast replace? What is fast replace? Oh shoot, yeah, that's a good point. Let me just get rid of that. That should not be there. Okay, yeah, that should fix it. Anyway, I assume that's the joke you were making. Yeah, look, I hate that thing at the bottom as well, but I have to see it every day. Okay, insulated wires are having a problem at the moment. Wow, why? Wires? I seriously don't even know what that means. This is not super beneficial ways of doing things, but... Oh, the tip's top right. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do that. As long as it doesn't pause the game. It paused the game. Oh. There's a thing for rates calculator? What? I didn't even know this was here. Fast place direction. Oh. Oh. I knew that one. Okay. Well. Okay then, that was a thing. Today I learned, I suppose. Jeez. Okay, so these fastens... Meanwhile, everyone who's played the game for a couple of minutes is like, how does he not know this? It's been a long time since I played the beginning of Factorio. Like, I've had this game since early beta. So, I don't know everything that's in here. Like, from stuff that was added. It's pretty funny, though. Oh, cold water. Oh, it's so cold. I know it's in the name, but whew, not expecting it. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, sometimes I like to check out other Twitch streamers on Factorio and just see what they're up to. And that's always fun. Like, and I totally sympathize with someone who looks at my base and goes, what the fuck is this? Because one, this base has been growing for 200 and something hours. And two, it is not exactly the best laid out base. I don't need to tell anyone that. They know. They can see it. And it looks like batteries are coming through fast enough. Insulated wires have been improved. This should be good. Okay. Looking all right. Means we might have a problem there that... Oops, faster placed. I've learned about faster placing today. And let's just offset those as well. I'm gonna miss offsetting. Offsetting is so good. I assume offsetting isn't in whatever the heck comes next. Space exploration. I guess that wasn't really particularly needed, huh? That's alright, I'll live. I don't want to mod it too much. I think the only thing I'm going to add in is Finay, because I love Finay. To-do list, and squeeze through, and bottleneck. That's the only thing I'm going to add in that isn't base. I was considering doing Afraid of the Dark, but then I was like, I kind of want to see the different... The mod to add burgers? Oh my god, no. I thought this was a legitimate mod, and I'm like, what? Why would you make burgers? I love burgers. My wife wishes I didn't love burgers as much as I do, but it's always a great thing when she's like, oh, I don't want to cook. What should we eat? And I'm like, I've got a suggestion. And she's like, I'm not eating burgers. I'm like, I have no suggestions. So, that's the cruelty that I have to live my life in. I got all excited about the potential of burgers. I really did. It's my favorite feudal title. It's not actually. My correct favorite feudal title is, of course, Doge. Because of course it is. Huh. This game's so wild. It has done like 2,000 in the span of this long, which is pretty good. I'm a little worried that it's going to start running out of stuff. Okay, this is what I was afraid of. I think we've actually got a shortage of tungsten. Wait. Yeah, I think we've actually got a shortage of tungsten. That's going to be a problem very soon. Alright, well let's go do what I can with tungsten. Again. I noticed we're at 80%. At some point we need to think about stopping blue science. We'll do that after tungsten. But quite frankly, I don't actually think we need to. Okay, what is the delay? That is all going fine. That is a problem. There's not really room to improve. Actually, yes, there is. So why is it slow? Is it sulfuric wastewater? No, that's mostly fine. Not purified water, so the only problem is it's just slow. Okay, we can deal with that. That speeds it up a little bit. I think missing things on the right more. No? I don't think so. I think it's mostly fine. It's just... just needs a little bit more pizzazz, shall we say. And if we shall not, we will say it anyway. Okay. Yellow's okay. No, yellow's backing up. Yellow's fine. Brown is the problem. Probably. Oh, yeah, yellow science is the problem. But yellow science, the problem is tungsten at the moment, again. So... if I don't boost tungsten production, then it'll kind of never really be resolved. I'm gonna steal a couple of these. Actually, wait, I've literally got a tech for that. Not a tech, but a upgrade thing for that. So, if I do that... oh. That's batteries, yeah, and that's should be well, that should be resolving itself shortly. I know what you mean now. Yeah, actually might be a valid point. We'll go have a look at that in a moment. That should improve things to some degree. As should that. Yeah, it's really... I don't think science is really a problem anymore because it seems like everything's backing up with no destination available. Unless that's changed. I don't think it has though. Like this will probably say no destination available once it's full. Yeah. And no destination available is absolutely fine. We don't even need to stop any sciences right now because they are already working pretty optimally. The only reason we'd do it is just because it gives us a little bit more optimization for what we do need. Now you were saying... oh, you're quite right, that is still a bigger problem because of batteries. Okay, well... how do we even improve batteries? This. I thought we had improved enough, but clearly not. Okay. The way we're going to do it is we're going to split this up. Now, this may be a surprise to everyone, but this is going to be a spaghetti resolution. The only way I can resolve this is with more spaghetti. Now, do not be scared, because this is how I deal with every one of my problems in this game. Do not be afraid, he says, continuing to do the thing that makes people the most afraid. There we go. So that should hopefully... can these be... no, they can only be speed moduled. Okay, well, we checked. Okay, so that should be helping my lithium-ion batteries when it feels like it. At some point. We'll just do it like that. That should actually increase throughput and hopefully give me more brown algae. And that should also give me more lithium ions. More productivity would probably be good if I could find it. My beta farm is probably kind of irrelevant now, which is fine, honestly. Glass is maxed. That's pleasing. Saline water. Do I need more saline water up there? Probably not. Same time, maybe. Let us just try and grab what we can over here, because there should be something, surely. Well, 42 production modules, that's useful. Right. That's not an OO situation. A lot of people close my stream. That is almost 500. 500 will be actually pretty easy to get when we get closer to the situation. Okay, and now these have slowed down. But we're at 81%. That's pretty good. Now, what were we actually trying to do? We were trying to increase batteries. Instead, we're looking at fish. Now, this is a common misconception, but fish are not batteries. A lot of people make that mistake every day. They think fish are batteries? They're not. Okay, so I wanted to increase the productivity of these. So it gives me a little bit better productivity, not huge amounts, but you know, any little bit helps, as they say. And that means these are backing up, which is good. And we're back to this being the problem because of tungsten. Okay, that's fine. Well, we have 26 speed module 3s, so maybe that's something we could do with them. I'm sure we could find something that'll make 26 speed module 3s used for. Okay, where is the slowdown? It's here, interestingly enough. Well, these actually, despite what you may think, don't need to have the module 3s because we can just chuck 2s all around it. This thing uses 7.0 megawatts on its own. And the problem we are having, probably the fact that that's using a purple one. That is making a lot of tungsten ore. Could even go a little bit faster. Okay then, a little bit faster it is. We're going to have to go with the green ones. It is going so fast. These are actually going too slowly, I think. Yes, they are. Okay, well, that's where we're going to use these. And then these are spitting out tungsten powder pretty quickly. Not too many delays, but honestly, I'd be happy with that too. This one is being a little bit of a pain. But that's okay, it's fixable. I'm gonna offset it. Alright then, well, that's quite alright. I will be continuing to run this factory into the ground until it's given me what I want and deserve. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't actually know, but it's what I'm going to get. That's alright. You can check the VOD if you want. Into the sky! With the powers of FTL Technologies. Oh, you know what? Wait, input priority. Okay, that's fine. I thought that was output priority. Yeah, that's required to make ammonia. So it uses that to catalyze hydrogen and nitrogen into ammonia. Which is, you know, that's the glue that sticks ammonia together. Sometimes you need extra glue. Oh, well, yeah, that's a valid point as well. It's like one of the few vanilla items in the game. And then how often would you put iron and copper on the same belt? You know what, even in vanilla, iron and copper on the same belt is a bit unusual. Let's offset that. Iron and copper, sure, but those are the ores, so, you know, there will be dancing, as the ores say. Okay, so we've burned through that pretty quickly. It's fine. Now we just need to get through this a little better. So if we advance this to a green, and then put a 3s in there, that should have speed all that up. There was a mod that I was looking at where everything outside of your base is ore, like just random ore, like every patch is just a different thing, so you have to actually separate them. And if you try to build outside, like onto the ore itself, it damages or destroys your buildings. And I was like, that sounds like a really fun and irritating mod. Because for some reason I think fun and irritating are words that should go together. But I don't know if I'm going to play around with that one. Maybe. We'll see. That's the one. That is the mod I was thinking of. Danger Oars. We're gonna overflow that. And put a clarifier. Yeah, but it looked like a pain, and it looked like it could be interesting, an interesting challenge. It's not the mod I really want to come back, which is Blood Belt, but that's because I am a sadist. You know what? If 4,000 is how much can be in the train, I don't think we need to back it up that much. So that's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. That'll do. That's probably 9,000. I think I counted it wrong. Fine though. Hey, Sota. Oh, man, thanks. Really appreciate it. Why is the train stopped? The train is stopped because it doesn't actually need to be there. Yeah, it's taken me a while. We're about 240 hours in, and we should be done. Well, we're going to be done tonight. So, hey, thanks for coming by. SeaBlock is absolutely fantastic. I love it. This is my second run of it. The first run took me 500 hours, so I'm really happy that we're going to be doing this one sub 300. Or rather, it took me 500 hours clock time, so it may have been, it would have been more than that, because after a while the UPS start to fail, so. Oh, I guess the train was required. Goodbye, its people need it. Yeah, this doesn't need to be that much either, so 4,000 might be pushing it way too high. But we'll get there. We really do need tungsten to be better though. I think that'll probably be fixed very, very soon. Yeah, sure, man. So, you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of a tour. So, where the hell do we start? You know what? We'll start at the main electrolyzer farm. So, a lot of our resources we're gathering is from electrolyzers. That is all being turned into delicious slag slurry, which is then filtered over here. There's a few of these all around the place. You'll see the same things down here. But the main filters are here, and the trains will go and deliver them to their individual materials. The materials are scattered throughout the base. Oh, we've got some acid as well. And we started making acid using the lime filters. We were using the puffers for a while, but they're a pain. So the things get distributed around the base to where they're required, which we make the ores on site. That's a mistake, and I will not be doing that again. And you'll see those sorts of things, like probably here's the best example. So it gets the crystallizers, it makes the ore, it refines it, makes into ingots, and then usually smelts it down into molten material. And then here's where another mistake comes in. Then it all gets piped out, and so you've got these horrible spaghetti junctions of pipes all going around the place. Not doing that next time. Next time I'm going to be actually just shipping the iron and plates where they need to go. And then the ores made, then they were cast wherever they're needed. So for instance, we've got here the blue science base, which I need to turn off. So it does all its casting here, and then it all just creates it there and puts it back on the train network. Finally, of course, it has to go to science. Science is all here, and we're still waiting for yellow science. We are 16% of the way to go. Very exciting. Wow, it's only 16%. And then, of course, you got the rocket, which has there waiting for the final piece of tech to be completed, which is, of course, 200,000 of every single color, including space. Of course, I've glossed over a lot of things, such as, you know, the red circuit manufactory, where it goes from trees and casts everything as it needs to go. You know, you got copper, you got your solder, you got your tin, and as it goes around, it all upgrades into red module or processors. Nope, red circuits. We have the mall, which has the Venga bus, which has killed. How much did the Venga bus kill? 9,826 worms. Not bad. It's an artillery wagon. I like to call the Venga bus. Got some Spidertrons. They were used primarily for making the electrolyzers. What else is there to show off that's interesting? You know, a very long line of module creators, but that's all off now. A lot of these things are being turned off now because we simply don't need the science anymore. But, oh, and finally, of course, how do you power all this? Well, you power it with very spaghetti deuteriums. And these each produce about 3 or 4 gigawatts. It's the last one that produces more when I started to do it a little bit cleaner. So we can produce about 10.3 gigawatts of power. So yeah, that's the base. So, you know, good time for a tour actually. So thank you, Sotur, for asking. I appreciate that. I appreciate both your interest and just the perfect timing for, hey, show off the base. But yeah, so right now we're just trying to make enough yellow science to be able to finish. Yellow science is an absolute pain because it needs a lot of tungsten, it needs a lot of cobalt steel. Just needs a lot of stuff. But it is getting made, and by my estimates, I'm not even going to bring up the calculator this time, 200,000 divide 1.24. Is that right? Who knows? Times 16%. So we need about 25,000 more yellow science and then we're done. So hopefully that won't take too long. How are we doing for time? We are 2 hours and 40 minutes. We're not going to be too far away from the normal 3-hour mark. We may not actually be running a long stream today like I thought. But yeah, that's where we're at. So we're coming closer and closer to being done. 85%. Wow, it's ticked over another percent while I was looking around. And yeah, quite frankly, there's very little for me to do left anymore, aside from just plonk down efficiency or production or speed modules. Because beyond that, there's not really much more to do. You don't get 260 hours into a factory and then go, well, I guess I forgot something. It'd be a terrible time to realize you've forgotten something, because that would probably tack on at least another 10-20 hours. But, I mean, these are all manufacturing pretty quickly. The biggest delay is tungsten, which I might just work on it. So, Soto, how have you gone with SeaBlock? What is your best creation, shall we say? Not, it's up to you whether you've finished it or not. I'm certainly not judging if you haven't, but the real question is, what is the thing that you've made that you're proud of? Because you've got to be proud of something while making a factory of some scale. And these are still... Oh, no, no, no. These are running slow because of these. Fascinating and terrifying. Can these be upgraded? They can be. Okay. So let's speed these up. But after this, after tonight, the next stream on Monday, which you can see that timing in the schedule, I'll be giving space exploration a go, and I'll have to figure out how the heck miners work, because I have not used a mining device for a year and a half, so that should be terrifying. Terrifying is probably the wrong word, but it's certainly going to be interesting. Because I have not played a lot of base game in a while. A lot of SeaBlock though. Yeah, look, tungsten's coming through faster now that the powder isn't getting put in there to a huge overflow. And yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, that's fair enough. I fully respect that. SeaBlock is... I love SeaBlock. It is complicated, but at the same time, without the threat of biters or resources running out, it's entirely in your hands how you build. What? Oh, maybe the other tungsten train was going. But yeah, there's no biters, there's no real risk. It's just build at your own pace. If it takes you, you know, 200 hours, if it takes you 1,000 hours, the game never takes you a step backwards. If you ever run out of resources, I mean, there is no reason why you can't just go back to basics, get your electrolyzer and your wind turbines and go again. And I think to some degrees that's kind of nice. But yeah, just even the making chrome is just the dumbest thing, and I'm glad that I've done it now and I don't have to look at it again for quite a while. Of course, every game of Factorio gives you a new balance of things that you've realized that you've really got to take care of, and new headaches. So that's exciting. Look, we've got 14% to go. You know what? We can probably take all of this away. Oh, nope, 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 don't want that. I probably don't need any of these speed modules or anything. But we can just yank those away. I would like those, please, sirs. What we are going to do is, because we shouldn't need to launch any more rockets, is I'm going to start the FTL device. So what does the FTL device need? Because I mean, I know we're 14% away from it, but let's just gather all the stuff together now. 500 advanced processing module units, that's nothing. So, request a chest. When I can figure out what a request chest looks like. Great, figured it out. So we need 100 low densities, that's easy. We need 500 advanced processing units. I should have those on hand. And then it starts being a little bit trickier. 500 speed modules. Level 3. 500 efficiency module level 3s. So those I have. Those aren't actually a problem. And 500 production module 3s. Okay. Now, it's able to deliver most of these things. Most of those things are very easy for it to deliver, in fact. Some, not so much. That's alright. Okay, so that's going to deliver those. We are going to need the factory. Now, we can't actually start building it yet, of course, because it doesn't even have the tech. But, you know, in 14% we'll be there, so... I wonder if a lot of them are coming from down below. I don't know, I didn't really use efficiency modules much, at least not level 3s. I used level 1s for a while I was trying to save power with electrolyzers, and Lord knows if I turned all those off that would be interesting. that should get me most of the way. Now, while I do have 100 speed modules on me right now, I am going to use them, but I will recover them when I need them. Oh. Good to notice that failed. You know what? I think we've actually got one of those. No, we don't. Okay, well, cool. Okay, so I was always worried that at some point this was going to happen, that I would run out of space for all the sulfur. And rather than use it, I just stored it forever. And I thought, you know, what are the chances that it's going to be a problem? Turns out, there we go. There's the problem. That's okay. We still have, so actually, 16 plus 3, that's 20,000. Plus an extra 3, plus, we could probably even turn this off actually. It's not hurting anyone, leaving it on. We'll leave it on, it's not hurting anyone. Pink science, we have 7,000, 16,000 plus an extra 7,000. Hopefully that's enough. I'm a little worried because I did turn it off a while ago, but it's probably fine. Okay, so yellow science, how are we going with that? I have a funny feeling that's not picking up as much as I wanted it to. It's actually doing fine. I'm actually okay with it. Just need to speed this up, and it's all tungsten's problem. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! What is that? That's a slow little bit there. I don't like that. Go ultimate speed, please. We don't have time for anything less than ultimate speed. Now we need to actually speed up cobalt for tungsten because we slowed it down because we didn't think it mattered, but it did. We took a little bit too frivolously there. You've taken too greedily. Alright, let's speed all that up. Apologize to the factory for slowing it down. It didn't deserve this. It's a beautiful factory doing beautiful things. That train was real close, but it's okay, it can't hurt me anymore. It still spooks me every time though. Doesn't even matter, the train can't hurt me. I still don't like it getting so close to me. Okay. Hello, train. I just love the idea that a train just smacks into you and you just sort of look at it like, what? What's your problem? What are you even doing here? Okay, hopefully that pushes cobalt into a new level of good times. Because gosh, do we need a lot of cobalt. Because it is now the thing that's slowing down tungsten, which is... ironic is the wrong word, but it is frustrating. Maybe that's the thing. The song shouldn't be called Isn't It Ironic, it should be called Isn't It Frustrating. And that probably still works. But Can't boost the powder production any further, that's fine. Tungsten does look like it's doing a bit better, so it's probably alright. And we are at 88%. Woohoo! We are so close. That is the most restrained woohoo, I know. Just woohoo, we're almost done. I'm tired and I want to go home. I am aware I am already home. It's not how the joke works though. Alright then. Cobalt should be absolutely fine, but I just want to go look at it. Because I'm scared. No, Cobalt is so fine. Cobalt, you're so fine. You're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Cobalt. As opposed to a D&D reference, which would be, hey, Kobold, you're so fine. You're so fine, you hit me with a crossbow bolt. Hey, Kobold. Hey, Kobold. The moment in our D&D game, our DM has put us into a cave full of kobolds, and I know he absolutely adores kobolds, and I'm just like, well, the DM's doing the thing that he likes, and that's good for him, but we're going to be murdered by kobolds now. No problem with that, it's all good fun. It's always nice when the DM's in a place that makes them happy. Makes them less likely to kill you. No chance of killing you, of course, just less likely. Wow, okay, that clarifier really needs to clarify a little harder. So rather than clarifying harder, we'll just make more clarifiers. Wonder how long that's been in problems for. It's a good and yet scary question. Are the trains still like, yeah, destination full. They've got really nowhere to go, which is good. That just means that the trains, everything is full that needs to be full, which is so good. Maybe I do a countdown, and every time it goes from 10, like percentage-wise. That might be fun. Yeah, I'm going to start that at 10 if I notice. Otherwise, it's just going to be awkward going 9 randomly. I didn't count, that was a test. We're just testing the system. The emergency alarm system. So, how are we going here? Not great. Not great at all. 2% though. Tungsten again. Okay, well that's 2% going away, so that's going to get me another... Sorry, that's 2,000, so that's going to be another 1% or so. It's actually going to be a little bit better than that, because 1% is 1,600. So yeah. Should be fine. Could even slow these down and see if that helps it a bit. Don't know why I should or why I would, but I could. That's not a good enough reason to do anything, I think. And with about 1% gut left, I'm going to start tearing things apart. And that'll be interesting. You know what? I could even just give these up now. Oh. Give those up so they can build what they need to build. Science is happening. I mean, I can always slow this down from 300 to like a smaller number. Don't know if it would really help, but I could do it. Okay, the logistics network, how many bots do I even have going? I have 400 bots going? That's kind of a surprisingly high number. Hi. I assume the bots were delivering... Yeah, I don't even know how the bots are needing that many of them. Nothing's happening in the mall. Oh, of course. That does make sense as the science robots. They would actually be doing a lot of work. 11% to go. Look, I mean, let's be honest, the only thing that's slowing us down is tungsten, so let's go back up there and see if we can do anything else. Because, honestly, gotta do something. Okay, that belt is actually pretty full now, so that's cool. Apart from the fact that the belt is actually full. But that also means I can do this. And that should allow things to empty out just a bit better. Cobalt's coming through, tungsten is coming through, this is good. This is where we want it to be. Sorry, it's being rude there for a moment. You can go on the down low. Alright, so a train came left with tungsten. That is awesome. This train comes in to be filled with tungsten. And it's basically taking 2 belts worth at a time, which is maybe not 2 full belts, but certainly close to it. I mean, if we really wanted to improve this, what we could do is something like this. Why are we doing this, you ask? I honestly don't know. Change pace. Just put some speed module zeros in there, because why not? Give encouragement. Okay, well that seems to have helped. Now the problem might be that I've got too much tungsten. Unusual problem, but one I will gladly take. Yeah, because it outputs like a belt and a bit. It's fine. Gives it a little bit more backup. Just make sure they're all going at the same time. Makes the trains feel faster. And that'll just result in more yellow science, which is what we need. I mean, if it's something that I was really concerned about, I could do this. There we go. And then we could just make them faster again. Why are we doing this, you ask? I don't know. Can. Wanted to. Is there a better reason? Nah, not really. Can, wanted to. You don't need a better reason than that. Let's go one more over and pick like that. Okay, and then we'll speed up a little bit more because why the heck not? Gotta do something with your time, I suppose. Okay. And, you know, a little bit more tungsten coming through, it's always good. Gets more production. Nice, nice, nice. Gotta love it. Like, you actually have to love it by law. Sorry if this makes you uncomfortable, but that is the law. And just as the other train's coming in, this train will head out. If we even see it. Ah, almost perfect timing. Love it. Okay, just heard the puffers farting away over there, having a good time. As they do. Got my old uranium power plant over there. Don't really look at that much anymore, but it did do a good job in getting me to deuterium power. Don't really use plutonium. I was thinking about going into plutonium, but you really don't need to. As long as you've got enough fusion reagents. And by the time that comes in, it just starts to need the tungsten again. And it can have it. Let's drop things off slightly faster. There we go. The faster we empty that train, the sooner we can get a new one in. And most of these are manufacturing. What is the slowness? It's the same thing as always. It's alright. 10! Got it on the first one. I'm just gonna do this countdown, I don't care. It's happening. Yeah, so this is good. These are all coming through. Every one of these that gets made would be making, what's the production? 7.2. Every one of these that's made is basically making 3. No, it'll be making more than that. It's almost making 4. 3 point something. So I don't know the exact numbers. Everyone is making it's making. Okay, hang on. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. 2 times 1.72. It's making 3.4. Okay, cool. Get it. The manufacturing is all going good. Don't know where we're having any slowdowns, if any. Unless I'm somewhere, let's be honest, but tungsten is going about as well as it could. I don't want to have enabled condition anymore. I just want it to always be on. I may have just turned it off. I did. Okay, it should always be on now. Yep. I don't care anymore. I just want it always on. I always want some tungsten. There's no reason to not have tungsten. These ones do seem to be having a slight problem, so if I can, say, pick up and drop like that, and if I can do a similar thing, not that, oh gosh, who knows where that's going now. Okay, let's not do it quite like that. Let's do this in a reasonable manner. Nine! Got it. This may be irritating, and honestly, I don't care because it's so huge for me. I have been working on this since, how long have I been working on this for? Give me a second, I'm going to figure that out. I'm on my own little train track, I'm going to YouTube. When did I start when did I start uploading this? This is the real question. 7 months ago. So yeah, in March, I was right. So yeah, I started this in March, and I am so excited. Whoa, you're both here. Oh, I guess it wasn't. I see what happened here. This one was actually full the whole time. And it didn't unload anything because it didn't want anything. But, okay, that's a stupid mistake. That's alright. That's why we fixed it. Just keep giving me tungsten. Just fill my belts up with tungsten. I don't care anymore. And they are mostly going. I feel like science is... Wow, is science still going? Oh, it is. It really holds on for a bit longer these days, doesn't it? I don't ever think it actually hits 0 anymore. Neat. Ah, gosh, we can do this. I mean, I like saying we can do this as if there's like a chance that I might not now. I could just walk away from the computer for the next hour and when I come back it'll be done, but I'm not doing that. But I could. I might just be watching this. It's looking all good. Everything's coming through. Copper, cobalt, steel is making me happy. You always want to be happy with cobalt steel. This train is filling up. Probably another train behind it. Oh no, it's not a train behind it. There's a train coming. My goodness. Bring out the wine and cheese. A train has arrived. Okay, so we no longer have tungsten problems. How much? You require 2 belts worth of tungsten. Well, you're not going to get 2 belts worth of tungsten, are you? Even 1 belt of tungsten's pushing it. Now, I think I worked out if I have 4,000 science or 4,000 science or so come through, that will suffice for a few minutes. Can I get 4,000 science? It's gonna be a tough ask. It really will be. Although, it's coming. It only needs another 50 more. That's not a tough ask. That's doable. That's 4,000 science in that train. And still rising. That's like 3%. Heck yeah! So we're going to ride the train despite the fact I do run faster than it. Okay, and then comes the drones. And they didn't actually ever finish researching. Researching happened all the way to the end. True, slowly right at the end, but... yeah, if these are all going for... per minute, dropping a 4,000, that'll keep it going at full speed for most of the time. So that 4,000 is pretty incredible. Thing science is making me a little nervous. Space science... is that making me nervous? A little bit. Oh, we don't... do we not have any more space science on the belt? We do not. Okay, space science is officially making me nervous now. 8! Probably get to 7 by the time this is done as well, maybe even 6. Shouldn't say other numbers, that confuses me and makes me forget what number I just said. I have to believe that my maths is right and not launch another rocket. It's tough though. I just feel like I've done a mistake and I'm just like, yeah. If I made a mistake, it's gonna suck a little bit. Not much. The minorest amount of suckage. I've prepared for the eventuality that I am wrong on that one. But still, it's still putting out a lot of yellow science. Yellow science is still going. It has not run out. Oh man, this is exactly what we wanted to see. At the end, only at the end do we truly see yellow science achieve its dreams. Its memes are no longer dreams, the memes are reality. As my friend Yuke says, do not let your memes be dreams. And they are no longer dreams. They are... They're just they are. Yellow science still has 400 sitting in there, and even when that runs out, it still has, like, approximately 600 just chilling. So exciting. I'm watching that percent to make sure I don't miss the number. Because right now, the science is going at top speed. Meanwhile, we've prepared another... 7! I was a lot more surprised. This is 7? These could actually probably afford to go a little faster. We're actually starting to catch up on this. Oh no, because it's titanium. Are we having titanium problems this late in the day? Say it ain't so. Why are we having titanium problems? Who gave the authority for these titanium problems? I certainly didn't. That was a mistake. How much does that actually output? 1.8. Interesting. That should have helped. Parts. We should be done with this within the hour, I reckon. And titanium looks like it's fulfilled its meme dream. No, could be memia, could be dreamia. Looks like the thing that's slowing it down is actually a weird problem. It's slow, not because there's anything wrong, because it's actually going to output it slightly in a weird way. It's got so many tungsten bearing balls in it, it's so funny. But these are, oh yeah, see the titanium slowed these down a little bit. So that's a little scary, but... 6! Is it as scary as just shouting the number 6 for no reason? No, no, we're going down! No, not yet! Panda's shouting numbers at me now. She'll do this whenever she sees me counting. Yes, 6. Quite right. Good job. And so science has slowed down, but it is still going. In fact, there's even some yellow science still on there. That one's out. It's probably like a difference of like how many speed modules are on things, but that's okay. Yeah, titanium could be a problem. It is pushing through as much titanium this way as it can. Wait, where's it going? Oh, that was like my backup facility. I forgot about that one. Oh, but it does split there, so that's actually okay. No, we're fine. I didn't realize it split that way. We got 4,200. That's even more than we had last time. Wow. We're very close to the point where we're going to have to start pulling things apart. I want to ride in the train again. Can we get to 4,500? We can. In fact, that's exactly what we got. 4,504. That's how you say four, people. Four. Anyway. I think it's still a Mark 1 train as well. It is. Cute little Mark 1 train. Doing the best it can. But science didn't actually stop. Sure, it's slow, but it didn't stop. Which is interesting because if these numbers keep increasing, we might still be running at a fairer speed by the time we come back again. Now, of course, all science is kicked back on again. And now it starts picking up other colors. I just had a very paranoid feeling that I wasn't recording, but I am. It's alright, we'll just put the FOD up or something. I've figured it out. Oh, the next number is right around the corner. I can smell it. There's still like a full % in there. You know what? That's doing the best it can, which is not great enough. Let's see if we can speed this up a little bit more. Oh my goodness, what did you do? 5! Okay, so hopefully that speeds that up a little bit more. Now we're doing pink science. I'm a little scared of pink science. Pink science will be fine. Space science. Should be fine. Just real quick maths. 1.24. Nope. 200,000 divided by 1.24 is 161,000. So then, if that's the case, 5% of that is 8,064. So 6,000 there. You know what? Let's do a safety rocket. Maybe it's not required, but let's just do a safety rocket. And we'll just grab some productivity modules. I would just love to have a safety rocket. I don't need it, but I would love to have it. Oh, there's a satellite on the ground right there. Let's just be a bit on the safe side. It'll make this rocket super quick anyway. Oops. Speed those up as well. A productivity module on those as well. Just keep safe. Four! Ah, that's 4. That's a real small number now. Okay, so I like that when we launched a rocket, some of the old industries that haven't been turned on for a while just had to run for a little bit, just to like build back up on the fuel. But the rocket is ready again, so it really didn't cause too much of a delay. We had a safety strat there just to get it done. And the safety strat is now complete. Do we still have yellow science chilling? No, we don't. Okay, but that's fine. We probably still have some backup in the boxes. Yeah, I mean, we've still got plenty of backup in the box. And there is 2,800 waiting. So, I mean, it is still going at the same speed that it should be. So close now. 4% to go and then I'm done. I'm free from this eternal torment that I've put myself upon. Not eternal torment, I love this game. It is fun to just be dramatic. I can't help but notice that we're not getting enough of these through now. Not really any way I've got to speed them up. Aside from, excuse me. What is this? What do you call this? I paid you to be faster than that, guys. Let's put a bit more productivity in there just to, you know, spit out more tinned copper wires. These are now, yeah. Okay, that should be improving things a little bit more. They are still all going. Wow. Oh no, we're starting to get a little bit of holdouts. Not holdouts, things that are running out. Runouts! That's the word I meant. Runouts isn't even the word. What the heck am I saying? Who knows? Okay, but the important thing is that these are also beginning to struggle a little bit. 3! Enthusiastically. Dump doodle dump. No, it's not time for dump doodle dump. I don't know why I clicked achievements. I've got some bonuses. I'm just going to check something really funny. Oh my goodness, I had research and increased speed thing that I never went for. You know what? The problem isn't research increased speed, the problem is the fact that I don't have enough research. That's fine. There's probably a couple of points that could have helped. No, there was no point that could have helped because yellow, it was always like a lot of buildings. So no, it's fine, we're okay. Ah, it would have been so funny if that was the thing that was holding me up though. Another 4,000, that is wonderful news. And how much are these going? You know what, most of that is actually still running. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, no, we'll go with it. No, I don't need to go with it to watch it. We just need to figure out how to speed these up. The rubies are still going okay. I was a little bit worried about rubies for a moment. That could probably be boosted by actually chucking a power line on it. I mean, surprise, surprise, right? Okay, that should speed things up a little bit more. Allow this to... You know what? Just... I feel like I've got strain casting 4s with me as well. Do I? No. Maybe I should have. Either way, more tinned copper wire coming through is only good stuff. It looks like it's actually backing up a bit. Not really, actually. No, it's not. Oh, yes, it is. It absolutely is. That's fine. I already said 3. Did I say 3? I think I said 3. I don't know what to say. I'm talked out. I've just got to get this done. I mean, if you think I'm exhausted this time, imagine what it was like when I was playing for the 500 hours. Like, it truly felt like a hellish experience. And why did I choose to repeat it when I thought the 500 hours was a hellish experience? I don't know. It's actually a very good question. But anyway... A lot of science. A lot of science. Well, looks like the slight sulfur problem I had has been resolved. I mean, if it hadn't been resolved and I hadn't realized it now, I could have been in some trouble. Not major trouble, but just frustrations. 2! This may actually be the last train. Because there's probably enough science in there to finish it, but this last one would... At least be enough science in here, I believe, to get it to 1. And this last one should be everything, so... Geez, do I start pulling everything apart now? No, I'll let this train leave. Yeah, once it gets to 3,000 or so, I can start pulling everything apart. Maybe I will start pulling everything apart. Where do you even start? I literally do not know. You know what? I know where you start. You start from the entire base. Let's not do this now. Let's wait until we are actually complete. It will not take long. It'll take a few seconds. What we do want to do, though, is be smart about it. Once in my life. I want to grab 500 speed module zeros and 500 productivity zeros. I want those. Because if I have those, then everything else will sort of be fine. For reasons that'll be very obvious very soon. Science is still going. It ain't stopped. You can't stop the top, as I've heard, and had stuck in my head. What? We shouted 2. I've been shouting each number. Don't worry, in a moment we'll be shouting 1. Not yet, not yet. In a moment we'll be shouting. Okay. 3 billion.
3 billion!
We are a team of 5 million. That is the New Zealand rhetoric. So I don't know if anyone caught that, but Panda just came by and said, is it time to shout 4? So clearly she hasn't heard me from the room shouting every number. So the next number, 2! I'd already shouted 2, actually. I just realized I got too excited. I got too excited? Had I already shouted 2? I don't know. The numbers all run together. They're 1-digit numbers. It's very confusing. If I shout 1 in the next couple of seconds, I know that I've made a mistake. But I believe we probably have enough science now. Yeah, we had done it. 1! Last percent of science to be done with SeaBlock. I am so pumped. I have been hit by a train. It's fine. The two things are unrelated. As I've always told someone, getting hit by a train is just good luck. Alright, so let's see if we can... I've never said that to anyone. Let's see if we can grab anything here. Just 14%, that's fine. I'll take it. 14%? Okay, well, you know what? Whatever I do, I don't want to accidentally draw it over here. So if we do this, we make it very clear not to accidentally draw over the science facility. That should give me almost enough. So let's just go on a tour. And hopefully my bots will do what I need them to do. I don't really know where they're going, but the bots will launch themselves if they see a reason to. So we've just got to find some stuff. Part of me wishes I'd done this earlier, but it's also probably fine. I thought I saw a drone launch there, and I was like, yes, have you found something useful? No, it was just launching. Probably replacing a belt that I told it to do hours ago. Oh, there goes a drone. Excuse me? Did I not tell you to do this stuff? Maybe I didn't. Well, that's fine. That's quite a bit here, so... yeah, sure. That helps, I guess. What if I did this? Oh, that's a absolute unit of a number there. So 1% to go. It's probably even less than that now. Well, it's definitely less than that now. And now it's just about getting the modules, which I don't know where they are, but the bots will find them. There's probably some down here, if I take a guess. Yeah, there is. And aluminium, that'll definitely have some stuff to be taken away, I assume. Oh, are these twos? They're twos. They're not even threes. That's pathetic. Okay, we have 130 something. If we just draw another box like this. Did you just build belts? Like, you think this is the time to build belts? Really? Alright, whatever. I can't be mad at your stupid faces. I can be. Where are you guys off to? Oh, you're off to improve some belts, are you? Good time for it, guys. Good job. I've only tried to get you to do that for hours. I wasn't going to do it myself, of course. I didn't care that much, but really. Oh, it looks like the factory itself has handled some of these. And that is 0. We are done. Okay, so now we have the final tech to build. It is time to encompass the entire factory. And, oh, Tagu, you've chosen a new sound. You want a meow? Okay, we will add a meow effect for the next stream. We will do that. That show up there? Sorry, I know this is not the right time for it. Oh, does it not actually give you, like, a condition to... I thought it would give you a condition to type something. Okay, well, I'll get a meow effect for you next time. But now is not the time to figure out a meow effect. Now is the time to finish this bloody mod. We just need to gather some things. If it feels like it. Thank you, thank you. Double claps. Always good. Okay, that's gonna replace some of those. It has been a long, long road to get this done. Now, I noticed that we don't have quite as much as I thought. Who doesn't? You filthy lad. You filthy lad, Tagu. And yes, who doesn't like getting double clapped if you're going to be like that? Don't shame me. Speaking of shaming me, where are my bots? What are you guys doing? Oh, because they're twos. Well, then what's your excuse for these? You know what? I have a funny feeling, while I've been doing this, the factory's actually been putting them where I need them. Hey, Nuke, how you doing, buddy? Okay, so we should be... Thank you.
I didn't get.
I know, but I can see snacks are coming. Okay, we have everything? Do we? What do we got? We got everything we need. It is time to build a faster than light module. It is time to slowly build the faster than light module. Do not worry about it. It is being built. It is time to pick up the things and do it myself. Okay, this is the last tick. It is being built. I don't have time for this shit. Oh my goodness. And we are done. That is it. That is the last device we need. We have a rocket. It is done. Sad cow war horn, but oh. It is done.
Good job.
Thank you. All the sound effects are happening.
Woo!
Ah, congratulations. After multiple months, yes, it took me, I started in March, and multiple launches, you have finally completed your final goal, building that rocket that'll get you off this rock, because clearly no one else is coming to rescue you. Yeah, that is true. Thank you. You didn't crash that ship in the first place, right? That was Bob, your trusty construction robot. He was the one flying the ship. Him and his trusty AI that you programmed. It was his fault. Well, he didn't make it through the first crash, so now it's entirely up to you. You were paying attention during your training of how to fly a large tin can, right? Decision time. Launch another interstellar rocket or end the game. No, I want my mummy. Why would you do it again? No, I'm done. So, that is 245 hours. 6 minutes and 5 seconds. That has taken me a long time. We killed a lot of worms, killed a few trees. I died 30 times. That's not great. Destroyed 4 iron chests. The good old way, how do you clear a chest? By shooting it. Just gonna screenshot that because that's important for later. Only took 7 months. Yep, well, we're done. My life feels so empty now. That's alright, I got peanuts. I've been given food in my cat bowl. So that's always good. But, of course, if you've been wanting more, load up Civ. No, you know what, Dagu? I'm not doing Civ. You've missed that announcement. Because I realized Civ's mid to late game is actually boring as heck. And I thought, you know what I need to do? That's right, play more Factorio. So, we're doing more Factorio. That is the actual answer. Because, I know, right? Don't worry, the next one's going to take about the same length of time. So, if you weren't aware, we are doing space exploration. My wife is pleased about the idea of more Factorio. As she said the other day, it's like there's a third person relationship and it's Factorio. Their exact words. I'm sure there's one of those great jokes. You have jokes you can say about Factorio, but not your wife. I'm not going to go with any of them. She can hear me and she is watching the stream clearly. I'm surprised Factorio is allowing you a wife. You know, that's fine. But we are done. I don't know why I'm saving. Yes, I do. Done. I do so for the screenshots. So yeah, we are done with Factorio for today. I'm going to take away from Factorio. I'm going to actually what we're bringing in. So yeah, so SeaBlock is done. Hell yeah. And we're next going to move on to space exploration, and that'll be on my next stream date, which will be Monday for me. So check the schedule for that, and if you are interested in following, and if you're interested in watching that, please give a follow. Actually, I don't know if I get sound effects here. I know people like sound effects. Hang on, I don't. Give me a sec. Really important to do. Hey, thank you for following, Solter. I really appreciate it. Welcome, and I look forward to. I'm sorry, my sound alert was broken at the time because I was fixing it. But I'll give you the sound effect in a moment because you deserve it. I'm just clicking through all my things trying to get them working. Uh, I've just done sound alerts twice. Wonderful. Look, you deserve the sound effect. You've just followed, so let's get the sound effect going for you. Can't get the sound effect going. Come on, sound effect. This might be loud. I'm sorry if it is.
Butt kicking, for goodness!
There we go. Hopefully that came through. So, as I said, we are done. We are doing space exploration starting Monday. I've never done that one before, so that should be an exciting adventure. So, if you are interested in watching that, please give a follow. And you'll see them just as good at classic, well, not classic, but just as good at space exploration as I was at SeaBlock. You know what? I forgot what it's called now. It's just completely out of my head. I don't need to remember it anymore. I'll be back to it probably in about a year or so because I am a glutton for punishment. What else? Well, you can also view the VODs, as people like to call them. I upload the episodes on YouTube. They are quite far behind, but they are uploaded every couple of days. So you can see how this all began. And if you're wanting to, watch that, you're welcome to. That is on youtube.com/SeiferKatt. The link is down below. Like bees. You can also join my Discord channel if you want. It is the best way to get in touch with me outside of the stream. And there's not many people there at the moment, but hey, if you want to join that, that's open to you. What else are we doing? Cross out the Y and change it to an IO. What Y in the background? Oh, Factorio Fun. Aha! Factorio Fun is actually a board game. It's quite fun, actually, by the name. What else have I missed? Yes, Dagu, I'll get your sound effect of a cat meowing. I'll talk to you about it off stream so that way we can figure out what sort of cat you want. Whether you want actually, do you want an angry cat or do you want a nice cat? You want a meow or do you want a meow? You tell me. Or do you want me to just make a cat sound and have that up? We can do that too. If you are if you feel so inclined, you can also subscribe to me. You don't have to, of course. I will keep doing Factorio regardless, but I accept donations and I accept subscriptions. I'm not going to turn them down. But of course, don't feel like you have to. I am absolutely fine. And what have I missed? I haven't really missed anything. So I'm done. I'm freaking done. Done. I'm done. I'm out. I'll see you guys when I next come back. Just bah! All right, you take care, everyone, and enjoy yourselves. Get outside, but not too long because outside is scary and full of bees. Take care, everyone.